Having a successful and profitable clothing brand is extremely rare, especially in 2025. And if you want to be one of the few people that actually make a living in this space, I'm going to give you 10 pieces of advice that is genuinely going to help you scale, help you grow, and actually help you build community and get to the next level. That's what it's going to take to actually withstand all the noise, all the saturation, and pretty much have you be the authority and the leader in your industry. These pieces of advice are not going to be in any specific order because really they're all important and you really should be following all of them. I don't have any courses, any ebooks, none of that. All the content that I have is all free. My page is full of tutorials. This is what I do. I don't even have a paid mentorship, none of that right now. Really, I'm just pumping out all this content to build my community. If you want to support, I do have a clothing brand. That way you actually get something out of, spending money with me. Like I said, all the information that I have on my page is completely free. It's for you to use to help you get to the next level. Grab a pen and paper, lock in, and I'm going to give you the 10 pieces of advice. Let's get right into it. All right, number one, I want you to remember that you are creating clothes for the consumer, not for you. You're not going to like everything that the people love. If your goal is to make money and actually build an economy within your finances that are, being supported by a clothing brand, you're gonna have to give the people what they want. If I only drop the stuff that I like, honestly, some of the stuff that I like, my customers don't like, and the stuff that I make that I absolutely hate, my customers loved. And if I would have just been creating for myself, I would have missed out on that sale. So you have to remember that you are building a business and you are here for the consumer because it's 2025. We need to be bringing in money to make sure that this is sustainable so we can start, taking less hours at our regular 9 to 5 so we can start getting more on this entrepreneurial journey. You know what I'm saying? So just when you're listening to feedback from the people you're selling to, your friends, all that good stuff, really tap in and really listen because that's just what's going to make it possible for you. The second one is a little bit cliche, but it's to really keep in mind that this does not happen overnight. And I'm going to explain to you why. There's a ridiculous amount of skills that you have to actually have a sustainable business, let alone a clothing brand. And honestly, you're going to have to go through trial and error over a period of time, probably a handful of years, to actually build up the stamina, the skill, and all the resources within yourself to actually be able to solve problems that you will run into in the future. Because when I was younger, I struggled really bad, and I was thinking to myself, like, please give me an opportunity, and to be real with myself, if I would have gotten, certain opportunities that I get now back then, I probably would have messed it up back then. I didn't have the infrastructure of knowledge and skill to actually tackle these problems. You know what I mean? So if it's not happening overnight, it's okay because sometimes you have to go through a period of time of just learning. So that way, when you come across a problem down the road, you lock in and you're like, damn, I remember why I went through that. You know what I mean? Because now I can solve it, get out of it, and get to the next step. So, all right, number three. Remember, the product that you have does not matter. It's all about your brand identity and the message that you have. Put it this way, there could be a company that I have no knowledge about. If they try to drop something that doesn't resonate with me, I'm not going to purchase it. Versus if this brand over here is catering to me, about the problems that I have, maybe the things I'm going through, whatever, this brand is solving my problems, giving me content that's inspiring me. Who do you think I'm going to spend my money with if they have the same product? Sometimes if the brand with no identity has a better product, the brand with the less quality shirt with the bigger brand identity might get my sale quicker. And that's not really fair. You know what I mean? So you need to spend more time focusing on like building your community, providing value to them rather than focusing on what design is going on the t-shirt. Because somebody with a way less design, the way less quality design t-shirt, etc., could outsell you simply because they have a message and they have an audience that they're serving. So keep that in mind. Pay attention to the community and serve them. That's how you're going to build your brand. Number four is something that I do want to make sure that you kind of prioritize. I did say they were all equal, but this one does kind of have a little bit more of a priority level is make sure that the people around you rock your stuff. Make sure that your entourage, the people that you're with daily, make sure they are all geared up, even if you're not spend or if they're not buying it off you. Like, make sure all the people around you all have merch. Put aside a budget to make sure that they all have it, especially if you're not running ads, because these homies that you have going around, they are your walking ads. And if you have like, this is something I need you to lock in on. If you have like a unit of people, like a handful of homies or homegirls, if you're a girl watching this, if people know you are a unit, you are intimidating. People crave a family, a group of people, a part of something, right? If you guys have a strong unit and you guys are popping out at events and people see that, they're going to associate you with unity, which is something that they want. So if you have merch available, they're going to want to buy the shirt, and immediately that's the tangible item that helps them buy into that. But you need your homies to wear your stuff. You also have to make sure that like people that that are out and about, maybe they're hardcore partiers or always going to networking events, whatever it is that make sure all these people have gear, bless them, and make sure you let them know why you're giving it to them. Like, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, like don't just give it to them. Explain to them that that you see the value in what they're doing and you want to support. But that all starts with your homies or homegirls wearing your merch. And if they don't want to wear your merch, keep them away from you. They're plotting on your downfall. If they don't want to wear your stuff, they don't want to see you win. These are people you should not have around you. You should only have people around you that are proud to wear your stuff. So keep that one in mind as well. All right, number 5, make sure you don't build your brand off of running ads. You don't want to pay to play, because the second you stop paying is the second you're going to stop playing. Plus, it's more fun to have a community of people that choose to consume your content and then convert that into like a purchase, versus them just getting force fed your ad a few times a day until finally the second week that you've been feeding them your ad, they finally buy it. You know what I mean? Like, it's much more rewarding doing it the other way. And once you have a proven concept, you have content that is working, you have a product that is working from the organic reach, then you can start running ads, start putting money on that. But just don't build the base of your brand off of those ads. I'm telling you, because it's just going to hurt you in the long run. And the level of consumer that you're going to have by making sure you're organically reaching them is going to be much more quality. Okay, number 6, you've heard this one before, but I can't stress it enough. You have to make content and be on all platforms. At the very, very, very least, you got to be on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Those are the non-negotiables. You have to be on all four. They're free to make an account and start posting content. So you have to be on all four. If you want me to make a video on how to make content, let me know, and can make that one tomorrow. I'll upload it ASAP. But I just need you to make sure, if you have a clothing brand, you have to have an active YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that. For your YouTube, make sure you're uploading vlogs, behind the scenes, answering questions, and the solving problems that your audience has. Like, just, you know what I mean? You have to. It's non-negotiable. If I see somebody reach out for help, like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna go look at your stuff and I'm gonna make sure you have all these things. If you only have one or two of these social media networks, there's your problem. You know what I mean? So content is king. Please, that is more important than anything. You could have the best product, but if you're not making content, reaching an audience, you're not gonna sell nothing, I promise you. All right, number 7 is to realize that most clothing brands will fail. And I only say that because I see so many brands starting, and I know it's because they watch these influencers and think that like they're just gonna get like their first drop and buy a wide body, get their mama house, buy denim tears, whatever it is that you want to ball out on. It's it's unrealistic, and it's a harder grind than a lot of people realize it is, and it takes a lot longer than what the internet makes it seem like. Now, there are those miracle cases where somebody just blows up within their first couple months. Like, it's not impossible, but the chances of it happening are super low. and you're going to build a much more sustainable business by building it brick by brick and understanding that, like, maybe my first drop, second drop, third drop, fourth drop, even fifth drop failed. But what I learned in those 5 failed drops made sure that on that sixth drop, I made a killing and I made all that money back times 10 or whatever. You know what I mean? And most people don't get past that, like, oh, damn, I failed and now I'm gonna like quit. Most people just, that's where they stop. But if you can decide, oh, this is a lifestyle and this is what I'm choosing to do for the next 5 to 10 years, at the very, very, very least, like, you have to decide what person you are. You're gonna be the person that quits or the person that keeps going. Because I've been doing this for a really, 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 really long time. This whole YouTube creating content game, and I just barely started seeing traction very recently. And I've been in the game for like 10, 15 years, like, and I'm just now seeing it. So if I would have given up, all that would have been for nothing. So I had to keep pushing, but it's because I decided this is a lifestyle. So, all right, number 8, you don't need to be famous or have like a ton of followers to have a successful clothing brand that actually pays your bills. If you have like a solid, like 100 reliable actual supporters that every month support your drop, support your content, actually engage with you, you are gonna be okay enough to where you can start buying back some of your time and start investing into more projects that make you even more money in the long run. So don't get discouraged about having like a low follower count, because it honestly doesn't matter. Like, honestly, the way organic reach works is you could post a video tomorrow and get a little, good amount of views, maybe go viral, whatever. And though it might not sustain you forever, you'll be able to use that moment to, attract some extra supporters, maybe get in a couple sales, and then just build that over time. But like I said, just it doesn't matter if you're famous or not. Like, you don't have to be like a Kanye or like a Capri or a Quan or, Superline, World Envision. Like, these dudes are huge, but like, that's not what makes somebody successful. You could be making half of what these creators are making, and even that could be enough for you to make something shake right now, get to the next level. So don't ever beat yourself up for whatever it is that you're bringing in. Just be happy that you're selling even a t-shirt a month. All right, number 9 is you have to do pop-ups and you have to pop out in your city and network with people in person. Now, the one thing I am going to say about pop-ups is you got to be careful. You can't just be doing every single pop-up. Just do the pop-ups where you're actually doing research behind the hosts and the companies throwing these pop-ups. Like, check their social media accounts. Have they done events before? Do they have good turnout? How much are they charging? Talk to people around you that have, purchase booths from these companies. Like, don't just do every single pop-up. You're gonna burn yourself out. As far as the networking events, if you're not setting up an actual booth, go hit as many networking events as you could possibly go to. It's only going to benefit you. Having that local footwork traffic is really going to be like your home base of how you make money within your city, because then you can use that to help you make money online. You can do it vice versa, but it's always just nice to make sure you have people in person in your local community that help you get to the next level as well. So just make sure you're popping out, and don't be scared to like go up to people and ask them questions. The best thing you can do as far as networking, if you're nervous, is just keep asking them questions about themselves. They're going to spill the beans. They're going to be like, wow, I love this guy or, this girl. Like, they listen to me. And next time I have an opportunity that aligns with what they offer, I'm going to be calling because this person made me feel good. So just keep those things in mind. And the last one, number 10, is make sure that you're setting up systems and you're deciding what method you want to use as far as distributing your clothes. For example, maybe you buy a heat press, you're making it yourself, you're using overseas manufacturers, you're using print on demand, like whatever it is that you're using, just make sure you set up a solid plan and you do your research on how it is that you want to actually sell the clothes, because there's a lot of ways to do it, and there's like none of them are wrong. It's just about, your preference and what works for you. Just, play around with a couple different methods. But, I do recommend you have a heat press. Having a heat press at home is super clutch. You can make your samples, run some bulks, do, short runs, whatever. I do recommend a heat press. It's super clutch. But just make sure you have systems and you decide how it is that you go about doing everything, because that's what's going to help you save time to be able to have more time to focus on being innovative, because that's really what it's about. And that's what I'm just trying to get you guys to understand, is being efficient with your energy and all the things that you do. That's why I'm just giving you this checklist so you can focus on these things over the next 12 months, because these aren't like get rich quick pieces of advice. These are things that you are going to have to work on for pretty much the rest of your life. But at least if you're like younger or just starting out on your journey, like, you can make sure you have these things in your head, and then come back to this video in a year and tell me how these pieces of advice actually helped you, because I promise you, if you lock in and listen, these are going to be super clutch. But don't forget to like, comment down below if this was helpful. You want more videos like this, what type of videos you want to see next. Subscribe, because it does help the channel a lot. I want to hit 100K by the end of this year, and I believe us as a community, we can all get there together, because it'll just have me be in a position to be able to provide value for you guys even more. But I appreciate it. Don't forget to check out the clothing brand. It's an awesome way to support the channel and myself. But I will see you next video.